All right. Can't even think of a young golfer off the top of my head right now. Justin Rose, not a golfer. All right, here we go. Basically, what you already wrote this down, but basically, you were supposed to kind of get this type of relationship. So it says here, bird species numbers in an archipelago of reeds at Lake Valence, Hungary. Or Valence? What's an archipelago?
Series of
String of islands, right? Little islands. Do we have one in our country?
Hawaii.
And?
Alaska.
Alaska, right. So, number of bird species, 5, 10, 15, 25. Island area in hectares. So, this was just the size of the island versus the number of species, or number of species versus the island area. So, the islands between 150 and 200 had more species significant than the smaller islands. So, that's just a graph based on the area, but closer to the mainland, there definitely would be more species populating the islands as well. So what we were supposed to get, the results were, the bigger the island, closer to the coast, the greater number of species. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, why does that make sense? Raise your hands and share. Go ahead.
The birds can just, if it's close, they can just fly over. But if it's like super far, birds aren't just gonna fly over like miles.
They may not be able to make it.
Yeah.
They'll
Run out of energy.
run out of energy, fall in the ocean, and drown. Right. So the closer it is, the easier it is for birds to fly. Now, what about? So, are we talking mostly birds here?
No.
What else is going to migrate across the water?
Mammals.
Deer.
Pigs?
Yeah, like those Hawaiian pigs. The ones in Bahamas.
Yeah.
So, how far do you think a pig can swim?
As long as it walks.
It's like shallow. They like go to like the
What species do you think would be the easiest to study with this? Birds, right? So some species can't do this, right? So most of these studies involve birds, of course. But I do want to make sure if you don't really understand this, then you need to write down what it really means. The larger the area and the closer to the coastline, the more biodiversity there will be. Not just more birds of one species, all right, but different types of species. They're talking about richness, right? So that it isn't just about the number, right? So if you threw all 5 beans landed on one island and nothing else landed on it, that's not very diverse, right? That's not what this is showing. The number of species. So there's 23 species here and only 7 or 8 here. Right, so more that I want to make sure you understand it's the number of species, not just the number of one species. So that's what I'm trying to, because great distances from the coast, the mainland, not all species are going to be able to do that. That's the point. Pigs, probably not. Okay, they're not swimming very far in the ocean. I don't know for sure, but I just would probably. I would bet they can't. Are you sure pigs can actually swim?
Pigs can absolutely swim.
How do you know that?
Like 6 miles.
The Hawaiian pigs, you literally can go swimming with the pigs.
Yeah.
And Bahamas.
So they just kind of like flop around, or they're just like swimming?
They're not like this big pigs.
No, I'm not. I know those count.
They're like little beach pigs.
Little beach pigs.
So big island. Big island.
I think you should look it up.
Cute. It's cool. I'm sure they've adapted to swimming.
Adaptations, good. All right.
Can we look it up?
Look up pigs.
All right, this second. All right. Yeah, I want to show you this here. So this effect called the founder effect is a change in the genetic composition of a population as a result of descending from a small number of colonized individuals. This isn't actually part of the unit, but it to me was relevant.
Not writing it?
So you don't necessarily have to memorize what this is or write it down. You can just pay attention. So if a few individuals from mainland population colonize an island, the genotype on the island will represent only a subset of the genotypes present in the mainland population. As with the bottleneck effect, some genotype will not be present in the new population. So this was just pretty relevant. This is not part of this curriculum here in this unit, but this is exactly what we're kind of talking about for the most part. This isn't talking about island biogeography as far as size of island, distance. That's what the activity was about, and that's what we just kind of summarized. This is just another form of kind of like evolution. It's in the evolution part of the chapter, that if only the white and red ones find the island, there's not going to be any bloom. So it's called the founder effect. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I thought it was relevant and something kind of interesting. And it makes sense that if all of the different species don't find the island, then of course it's not going to be represented. And that could cause a problem, kind of like bottleneck, because that could decrease the genetic diversity and ultimately have problems, right? Low numbers. So anyways, I just threw that in there. All right. We got a couple minutes here, so we're gonna start here. All right. Let's see here. Where's my slide? You guys aren't like stuck on pigs, are you?
I think it would get us unstuck if you looked it up.
Yeah.
Swimming pigs.
That's exactly what I'm gonna type.
You gotta like video.
Yes. See?
Swimming with pigs is a thing.
There's a pig island.
Yeah, there's literally, like in Hawaii, that's
Maybe not anymore. All the pigs probably got wiped out.
By what?
No more bacon.
Look at video.
What do you mean by what?
Look up one of
Go
those
to
images. Look at one of the videos.
images.
Go to images.
Look at those.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
they're so
God.
cute.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, they're so cute.
They can barely see.
They're
like
I've never
almost
seen, like,
drowning.
They're literally not even on.
They're not almost drowning, shut up.
How far can pigs swim?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna guess a good 4 miles.
4 miles?
I can't swim 4 miles.
Yeah. Here we go.
But they're animals, you know?
Oh my god.
We're animals.
Well, they look like
Yeah, but
horses.
we're
The swine dive.
Stronger individual than that pig.
No, stop. I don't want to do this. Don't make me do this.
Watch that video. Yeah, watch it. It's National Geographic. That's a video.
It's gonna make you sign up.
Just do it.
Sign up.
No.
Put in someone's school email.
Go on
while you're
your
at it.
Will's not here. Yeah, you can. Will's here.
Alright, anyways.
Aw, so cute.
Look at a video of it. I wanna see it.
Can we play?
Look
Just
at it.
it's
It's
only
only
security 4 seconds. Oh.
He's almost
Yep, you're right. That pig's definitely gonna swim to an island.
Yeah.
Well, they're on islands. What do you think they're on
They're
islands?
standing.
They're not swimming, they're like walking.
All the camera angles don't show the bottom of their feet. They're just walking.
Exactly.
Look at their little nose.
Wait a second. So just because there may or may not be pigs on an island doesn't mean they swam there.
Whoa. It said no one knows for sure. bro.
Okay? How did organisms from Europe get here? They
They
swam
swam.
here? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
There's like a big island and then a smaller island here. They're gonna
So they just they
They swam.
the point I was making is typically birds are the ones that will do this.
Sorry,
Not pigs.
I know, but
Usually
you
water
can't, like,
in
stand
oceans
on
is
the
not
things
water.
already.
Yeah.
I'll show you those videos.
Yeah.
I have one for you.
Yeah, low tide, you can walk from coastal.
Yeah, they show that. They show
It's literally walking.
Okay.